Guys, I'm really attempting to do my best intro for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, and I need to finish this quickly because the blood is starting to rush to my head. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today I'm diving into the HBO Max original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion special. Well, it's very special, guys. As a huge fan of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's my favorite sitcom of all time. This reunion was not only something I highly anticipated this year, but I didn't expect to get it a whole day earlier than its original release date. So I am very glad that HBO Max pushed it out early because, guys, if you're a fan of this show, it is a treat and a half. It is just a wonderful time. Now, before I get into what I loved and we talk a little bit about the reunion itself, if it's your first time here at the channel, guys, welcome to Real James, where I talk about things early, I review things, I go ahead and get into reactions as well. So if you want that and even more, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on the bell so you don't miss out on anything new. And guys, we're so close to 3,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you. And if you haven't already, smash that like button and get loud in the comments below and let me know which moment from the reunion was your personal favorite. Alrighty, so let's get the technicalities out of the way, okay? This is directed by Raboy, and it was taped on the 30th anniversary of the series' original air date, which was September 10th, 1990. And of course, the final two-part finale, which is a tearjerker, let me tell you guys, it aired on May 20th, 1996. And what I especially loved about this reunion is that they brought back most of the OG crew, which is really cool. They had Will Smith, Alfonso, Ribeiro, Tatyana, Ali, Karyn, Parsons, Joseph, Marcell, DJ, Jazzy, Jeff, who I had the privilege to see live at an event here. It was so much fun. And of course, Daphne, Reid, and the surprise guest was Hubert. And if you guys know, there was some beef between those two. We'll talk about that because the reunion definitely touches on Will Smith and Hubert's feud. It was something else, guys. But let's get into what I loved so much about this reunion, and that really is the storytelling aspect here. There's a lot of amazing personal stories that each of our cast members really tell, and there's a really cool moment where they take the first 30 minutes almost, they sit in the original living room, they recreated the set, and it was beautiful. And what they do there is basically sit around in a circle, campfire style almost, and they just tell stories. Of course, Will Smith is still the ringleader here. He has some of the best stories, and he's an amazing storyteller, but he clearly takes the lead in a lot of these moments. But I do love the fact that they shine the spotlight on Alfonso, they shine the spotlight on Tatyana and Karyn. I mean, it's just really cool that everyone was able to tell a little story to really impact not only me, but so many fans, I'm sure, across the world. I really just couldn't stop smiling because a lot of these stories are stories I've never heard before, and I do love the fact that production-wise, they were able to mix in some behind-the-scenes footage. A lot of that came from Entertainment Tonight, and it really helped paint the picture of just how wonderful this show was. Not just what we saw on screen, but everything behind the scenes. It was just so intricate. It was revolutionary, and this show really did impact TV, and it's still legendary. Guys, this show is just gonna live on forever, and you can tell it's impacted so many people. Now, I did like some of the moments where they pulled back a little bit from the group setting and got some solo interviews, because some of the most emotional moments came when each actor was really just kind of sharing their story. And yeah, they cried, and so did I, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting really emotional during this reunion, and at one point I was trying to hold back tears, but I couldn't, okay? So some trickled down, especially when I started talking about James Avery, the late great James Avery. He was a TV dad to so many. I mean, he felt like a TV dad to me, to be honest with you. And the way you could tell that he left his legacy was just so wonderful, and each of these actors were just able to give a personal story about James, and it was so cool to see they handled the tribute to James Avery so gracefully. And I do love the fact that we got the raw emotion, the candid reactions from each cast member on the sofa in the living room watching the little tribute montage that they put together. I mean, when I saw DJ, Jazzy, Jeff really just crying, like getting into it, I was like, all right guys, well, you know what, let me get the Kleenex. But outside of the emotional weight that this reunion held, I really do love the fact that they were able to explain a lot about their characters, the motivations, and also how the actors really disappeared into their roles. The one that impacted me the most was Karyn Parsons when she was talking about Hillary, where she did make a comment that I guess some people really wanted to see her turn into a strong black woman, and that would have been great to see, of course. However, she said, you know what, it's okay for Hillary Banks to be a little flawed. And I love the fact that she was able to just really express that in her interview, and it was so cool just to see how each of them just explained that these characters weren't just people they played on TV, but it was really a part of their DNA. Now, of course, a lot of people were really interested in the Janet Hubert and Will Smith sit down that they were teasing in the trailer, and guys, let me tell you, I was really curious to see just how well, or if they would even handle it well. It seems like they still had a lot of animosity, there was a lot of beef there, and I'm glad that they were able to sit down and squash it. It was really cool to see how they both gave enough space and time to really just talk it out. I love that Janet was able to give her side of the story, a side of the story that really no one else knew about. Even Will said himself, I didn't know this about your life, about your past, about your abusive marriage. And yeah, I'm guessing it was really tough. I mean, you could just tell the sheer emotion on Janet Hubert's face was just telling the entire story. And I love the fact that she was able to go on set and surprise everybody else, and they got together and they prayed and they were in a circle. It was so cool to see. However, I really do think the key here is that this appealed very much directly to the fans. And I think that's the best thing about this reunion, is that of course you are going into this having already known a lot about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I know I did. So if you go into this and you don't know much about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I think this will still actually motivate you to go and watch the series on HBO Max. I really recommend it. Guys, if you haven't seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, please let me be the first one to tell you, this is the show that really defined a generation in the 90s, and it still does. It wasn't just important for, I don't know, TV. It was honestly very important for the black community. This is a show that broke ground. This is a show all about black excellence, and it was so beautiful to see everything really magnified in this reunion. So if you haven't seen The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or if you haven't finished the series completely, please go and watch it. I know I'm going to go back and rewatch the series, because this reunion really just, it makes me happy. You know, I really thought I was going to cry on camera today, but honestly, I have nothing but smiles, because this is the definition of how you do a great reunion. I really do think that this was very compelling, and I mean, my eyes were glued to the screen, and it was definitely worth my time, and I'm sure it'll be worth your time as well. Now look, before I head on out of here, guys, there's one thing I have to say. Get used to the influx of the, of course, group conversation and then solo interviews and behind the scenes footage. It might take a little bit of getting used to, but they eventually find their flow. I would say 10 minutes in, I think that they got into the groove of things there, and I think I was just getting used to seeing everyone again as adults. I mean, it's so different. But at the end of the day, guys, I really felt like I was a part of this family once again. This is a family that impacted my life greatly, and it's still, like I said, my favorite sitcom. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and seeing them together, guys, I just felt like I was part of the family one more time. So yes, I need to say it again. Watch this reunion. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion is one of the best things that you'll see this month. It is a treat for fans, and honestly, again, if you're new to the series, it'll make you want to go and start all the way from the pilot episode back in 1990. Alrighty guys, well there you have it. That was my real review for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion on HBO Max. You can stream that right now, so go ahead and get to it. And if you haven't, guys, go ahead and get loud in the comments and let me know what you thought of this reunion. Hit that big red button below and subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't, guys. We're so close again to that end of the year goal, 3,000 subscribers, and I love each and every one of you. Alrighty, well, you know what? I might have to go and cry, or I could just rewatch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let's do that. Alrighty, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.